the Russell. Okay, so you guys know how the market went today. A whole lot of We had the pre-market or not kind of pre-market open, and then we kind of just did this flag thing, this up and down nonsense, and then we sent it up. Obviously, hit that zone and rejected. Gosh, I would look at today's whole range almost like an earnings. Break above that, we're bullish. Let's start talking about the next zone. Break below here. Let's start talking about if that zone's even going to hold because we've already tested this below. For now, I would say it looks bullish. It kind of looks like someone didn't get the memo that they're supposed to stop selling, and they still had those sell orders. So let's see. Let's see what kind of reports come out, what kind of news we get, what kind of excuses. For now, I would take that as, bullish. Hourly trend is still up. Wrote it up. Tried a short after tagging out a couple days ago. It's been moving a lot the past few days. It has. For anyone that doesn't know anything about Forex, that's a lot. Again, 200 points just from the last 200 pips from the last add-on that I did, and people have goals of making 30 pips a week. I'm doing their month in one trade. All right. Expected move. We talked about this last night. Like, how many times do we kind of come down close to one and then Powell sends it the other way? This was quite the rejection. But it also kind of reminds me of the end of day dip buy. Although I did swing my puts, I will say that. I guess we'll get into that here in a little bit. A lot of zone action. This particular one, man, does not look as strong as. So what happened here is a head and shoulders after a motorcycle accident, and he lost a lot of meat on that arm. Hate to say it. Gimpy over here is about to send this market south. What to make of this? Other than, Wynn asked earlier, what is going on? The only thing I wanted to respond was, I don't know, zone magic? Like, is there not a better forming a middle finger? A little baby finger. A little witch fingers, those little really skinny fingers. I don't know. Clearly there was a sell order up top. They could have just ruined everyone's day as far as 0 days to expiration. I mean, people were loading up on those, both calls and puts, and they could have just ruined them all, just like Amazon's earnings. So we were in an area where we think buyers could be. There's an excuse coming out. We send it right into that yellow zone, get instant rejection, right back down. We're on the hourly trend, and right now, sideways. I would chop this off. Right now, we're still sideways. Extra volatility throughout the day. Hit that zone. It's a yellow zone. What do you expect? Not to be cocky, but does that shouldn't surprise you? If it does, I would be more surprised if that zone didn't hold. But if we just cut that volatility out, because we don't have it anymore, right? All questions have been answered. We're kind of just chopping around. So on this particular one, I'd say now if we break above this blue zone, I think we're good. But even breaking above here, I think we're start working our way up. Breaking below this red candle, yeah, we're headed south. Let's draw some hang-ups. Let's go. Jeff says, the market was all over the place. I was on set, and the phone was blowing up with alerts. Oh, yeah. Today was actually amazing. All right, as far as this goes, how many, I know the conversation we're probably about to have, but how many people followed or agreed, because it's not a call-out service, how many people agreed with my plays and absolutely killed it? One, on the Q's put side. TQQQ's got to be interesting. Now, while we're on the Q's, you guys saw my play today. Now, I bought 2 of these. So I'm in 200 shares, and I'm in 253 sold calls. Quite the ride. So what I did was I had bought TQQQ, I was like, oversold. I told you guys I was gonna hang out. I was like, you know what? Let's do the best of both worlds. Because this is mild, compared to any option strategies. This is just a little bit of leverage. Got a little bit of kick to it, but enough that I can put it down. Put the phone down. So it goes up a little bit, and then I had a sell limit order to sell the 53 strike calls against it for next week. For this week, this week for $90, 90 or a dollar. Anyway, so it jumped up, that filled. Now at the peak up here, I was up $400, $450, something like that on the shares. I was down $200 on these QQQ calls that I sold. And I did see some of you guys in the chat when I sold those calls, you guys bought those calls. And you guys trailed it at 100%. That was absolutely amazing. And I broke it down for you guys in the chat. I was like, all right, so I got $5,000 here. I sell the 53s, collected $90 for that. I think like 90 or 100, because that's gonna bug me. Because then I told you guys. When did I get those? 100. Sorry, $1 even. I don't know why I was thinking 90. All right, so dollar even, and then I'm thinking, okay, $5,000. If it shoots up, we make a couple $100. Deploying $5,000, make a couple $100. It's okay. There's certainly much. I don't want to call it better. There are other plays. If your goal is to make $200, I don't think I would need $5,000 most of the time. But was this still better than a lot of other plays? Yeah, wasn't bad. And usually I've made fun of this so much. Apparently all the YouTubers talking about this got some liquidity in there, because the options on TQQQ and SQQQ used to be 3 or 4. I mean, it was on pace with Google. So the fact that it was kind of liquid, I'm thinking, I don't know if people know how these things work. TQQQ, SQQ, these leverage ETFs, by design, they go to zero, they reverse split, and they do it again. And I'm gonna fool with this a little bit. I'm gonna see if there's an edge we can get here, but I'm gonna be in both TQQQ and SQQQ, and then I'll sell calls against both of them. As one goes up and the other goes down, they'll cancel out for some time until they diverge too far apart. But then you'll just have two machines selling calls. Anytime someone thinks they got this code cracked and then they got this new way, there's just probably something they're not seeing, which is what I feel, what I'm thinking right now. I think there's something I haven't seen yet, or maybe that they're just not going to be worth that much. Also, like, TQQQ is $52 right now. SQQQ is in the $11. So, you'll be selling one call to 5 SQQQ calls. Maybe the math adds up. So that's what I was trying to say in the chat today. Let's see how well this works. Because if you're in both, yeah, up, down, but these things decay away. So how long are you actually going to be in the money on these calls? In this case, it was an hour. It popped up, and then I got an alert. Your calls are now out of the money. So, not bad. It's kind of what I want. Not to be confused with the other strategy, Cody, where you buy both of them and show the profits just on one. I was thinking TQQQ, this thing shoots up. I load up on SQQ, so I bought the dip on both and then sell calls against them. That's going to be good. Did you get out of your futures trade at the top and immediately go short? Yeah, if you were in the chat, you probably saw. That's the most profitable strategy on YouTube. Well, I guess that's what separates us. We actually make money instead of pretending to do it. All right, SPY. I could have traded, I think, today with my eyes closed and absolutely destroyed it. I still couldn't lose. So if you saw today, I said I'm buying SPY calls. I'm in SPY calls. I'm in QQQ. I'm in SPY calls, puts, puts again, and then QQQ puts. So what you guys saw was, let's go right here. I bought calls. It popped up. Sold calls against it. So essentially I have an iron condor. Because I bought the 505, sold the 506s. I don't think I did dollar spreads, maybe $2 spreads on the call side. I know down below I did the 500, 499. But as it shot up, I'd put a limit order out there for more on the 506s, for more than I had actually paid for on the 505s. So I got paid to be in a call spread. And then we shot up a little bit higher. So then I grabbed puts at the peak. And then as that sold off, sold against it. There's actually some rallying back up. It was in these wicks because we did. It was right before. It was up here in this right here. Because my puts are back up. So calls, sold calls, puts, back in calls, puts, sold puts. I know I ended up doing it 4 times. Options were awesome today. And just go, I guess we can pull up, well, you do it. Pull up Discord and see the timestamps. And you'll see the back and forth there. Of when I bought calls, sold against it, bought put, sold against it. So I can tell you guys I have an iron condor. I got paid to be in every one of these plays. There is literally not any way I can lose money on these trades right now. I made some, and I'll probably just make a little bit more tomorrow. Now let's bring up technicians trade, because this happens a lot. It blows my mind that it does, but it does. It's the reason why I don't do callouts anymore. Also, why this thing, when I first started out, I was doing it was a callout service. Like, this is cool. I make money. Everyone else can copy me. They can make money. Who cares? Let's go. They still found a way to mess it up. And then they blame you for it. Now, technician's not blaming me, but that's why I'm not doing it anymore. Also, why I will post stuff, and you can either agree or not. Okay, it was SPY. Okay, I hate this layout. This is absolutely stupid, too. Okay, the 500 put, that's what I was looking for earlier. I don't think I saw that on my phone. I was trying to decode this. It's like, what is this? All right, so SPY put. You bought it for $200. Okay, you bought what I did. May 3rd, 500. Okay, you bought the put. Math checks out. I paid the same. Then I said risk and capital. And then you said, and you posted this, said, well, that was fun because you lost $100. I said 0 to hero was exactly what I said. And then explaining it. Let me see. What was your exact words? Okay, I grabbed SPY puts for Friday, 500 strike, 0 or hero. I said, no, you didn't. Then he says, I copied your text. You might have copied my text. You can copy the shirt I wear. You can copy everything you want. But if you don't copy the actual trades, then they're not going to pan out. Period. Ever. And I've said this before, if you guys want my results, you have to take my trades, my plan. That's it. There's no 2 ways around it, because I always get these, and these fire me up because someone will do this, and then I got to answer a million questions later as to why why it didn't work. Well, your plan was stupid, and mine wasn't. That's why mine made money and yours didn't. Why this plan was 1,000% absolutely stupid was because of this right here. We had a report come out, and then we had Powell asking questions. And people are worried about what color his tie is, what questions that someone's going to ask him. There is volatility and chop. We've been waiting all week for this on some dumb stuff, just waiting for an excuse to move stuff around. And you want to go jack around on some short-dated options contract and give it a stop. But you got to figure it out. I know you know how to read because you read my text and then you copied it. You said 0 to hero. That's exactly what I did. And I made a lot of money. I didn't lose a single thing today. All I did was I just kept making more money. And I screenshot every 1,000 I was up because I thought, oh, that's a good day. I'm up another 1,000, another good day. And it just kept going. And then I see this, and this pisses me off because you literally were like, hey, Don, that's a good plan. I'm going to do something totally different. Like, what the especially if you're trying to get somewhere. He says, thanks, I love being put on blast. What do you want to do? And just pretend this didn't happen? You want to take this trade again? You've taken 1,000 some of my trades and have never once copied a single thing. Because I'll be in an earnings play, earnings play. It's a gamble. You take a spread. Still very different. I bought a call today. 0 to hero, which means you manage the green or it goes to 0. You watch this go green and then manage a red trade. That's nothing. And if you're going to do this, you're not going to be here next year. You might like to. You might just hang out in the chat, say, hey, what's up? They're not going to have any money in your account because these trades are going to drain you. And it's not going to be death by 1,000 cuts. It's going to just get shanked in the stomach over and over again. You're either copying me or you're not. Period. And if your account can't do it, we've had that talk about 1 million times before too. You just can't do it. Okay? I do have more money than you, so I can take a lot of these trades. It does not affect me. I wouldn't blink twice if this trade went right to 0. I mean, if I took it, went right to 0 in record timing, my response to Discord would have been LOL. Well, that was good. Had I just sneezed and waited on the order, I would have still had some money. Like, that would have been my response. I'll give your heart a break. This fires me up because I can't stand this. I mean, I literally posted, not even after. You could have copied this to the T and made a lot more today. But what you did was you took a loss for no reason, and now these are even up. It's not as bad as my Monday meeting with the owner and the other coworkers. I can't stand. I really can't, because you're here every night. You might fall asleep on the Zoom calls, but you're still here. I got to be talking subconsciously to you, and you still can't figure it out. Get it in gear. What really burns me too is you don't copy a really good trade, and then you copy a loser. I'm like, then I already feel bad. And then I nail it like I am a literal market mover. Top and bottom, everyone, top tick, bottom tick. And you still are like, yeah, nope. And then I'm like, great. So seriously, you want to separate emotions? This is it. Stop doing it. Best get Don some monster stat. No, I care about every one of you guys. It annoys me when you guys lose money. I really don't care if I lose money. I'll make more money tomorrow or the next trade. Does not bother me. Like, it sucks to lose money. Nobody wants to do it. I've lost a lot of money. I've lost a lot of trades. It just doesn't matter because I know I'm going to make it on the next one. And if you're already down and then you're chasing and then you just do something that is incredibly stupid and don't recognize it, you're just going to do it again. I effed up. That's why I came to you. Yeah. Well, next time, if I don't know. I'm trying to just know that my plays, I think of everything, every outcome. I don't just say 0 to hero because I don't feel like putting a stop in. There's a reason I don't have a stop in. There's a reason why I will make fun of you if you don't have a stop in. Not like this, but if you have stops. I'm not saying don't have those, but if I don't have a stop, there is an actual reason. So don't throw that away like, oh, I wanted to take that trade, but I didn't want to lose 100%. Then you don't want to take the trade. Don't worry about that one. Move on to the next one. Who that says, well, honestly, I blame Cody. Monster IV. Anyway, I'm trying to get through to you, technician, because this doesn't even have to stop. It needs to stop, point blank. Because the last thing I want is you telling somebody like, "Oh, I was in Don's group and I lost a bunch of money," because that's silly. Oh, the Amazon was nuts today. We'll get to that one. All right, let's finish up with this real quick. Anyway, don't do that again. You're either gonna agree with that play because it's not a call-out service. You either agree with it or you don't. But we're on the Titanic or a yacht. But you're in the captain's room with me regardless. Like, that's how it has to be, especially if there's volatility or anything short-dated options. All right. So you're saying there wasn't a chance it kept ripping? Of course there was. And it went up for a little bit. You bought the put, which was up right here, red right here where you tagged out. And I honestly bought more. Those are the puts I'm swinging right now because they're just up even more. Yeah, there was a chance. But there was 100% chance you tag out in the volatility. And that's why it was 0 to hero. There's no such thing as managing a red trade. You take the trade, and it's got its exit plan for a reason. You manage the green trades because you want to squeeze every dollar you can out of it. That's why I trail, or in volatility, we lock it in a little bit sooner. It's still case-by-case basis. But managing a red trade is what people that have no idea what risk management is. People that want to add on or double down. That's people that have zero execution skills. Okay? Everything I do, even if I do add on, was always there before I ever clicked the buy button in the first place. You guys know this. You've been here forever. That's stupid stuff other YouTubers do that have no idea what they're doing. And just like some that you guys know, when the YouTube money stops, they quit showing up. Okay? So yes, I know every chance of every outcome. And then you weigh it all. And you just think, put it on the boxes, make a chart, start checking. 100% loss, 50%. Just start checking boxes. And does it have more yes than no boxes? Then take the trade. If it doesn't, you got to wait for a better one. All right. Let's move on. As far as the S&P goes, what do we do? Hit the expected move. Man, where are we at? Right at zone. Oh, man. So right now, let's just say going forward, let's talk about the next few days right now. Let's talk about this. My head's in the way. Give me 1 second. Shoot. There we go. Let's talk about this range right here. Okay, now get above this, we're bullish. We're going to be talking about that yellow zone above it. We break below this, we're probably back on the fast track right down here to this bottom zone. Now we're right here in a zone, so we are bullish above, bearish below right now, and we have a drop base. Let's take the volatility out today, which is just that wick. Not to say you should just erase wicks or candles because they don't mean anything, but that was a short-term blip with algos to move things. So right now, what we do have is a drop base. So it's a drop base drop or a drop base rally. There's only so many ways this thing can pan out. Right now, I would say that's arching. There's a lot of selling going on, so when it dropped up, there probably was a lot of shorts that jumped in. There was probably some profit taking. That is still also very much a giant bear flag. If it breaks this low, yeah, I'll worry about it down here. If not, down here. For right now, until that trend changes, let's just worry about the green candles at hand. Yeah, I'd have to put my stop below, right below here, right below these wicks. I need my picture back because that looks weird. All right. All right. Do I have your attention? Are you subscribed now?